The warlord counted his victories. The human handed him a list, longer than his empire. Warlord Thexkar stood in the center of his obsidian throne room, scales gleaming under the crimson light of his conquered sons. Around him, holographic displays flickered with the extent of his dominion. 17 star systems, 43 inhabited worlds, and countless billions of subjects who cowered at the mention of his name. The Zephyrian Empire had crushed civilizations that had stood for millennia, reduced proud species to servitude, and carved a bloody path across the galaxy for over 3 centuries. Behold! Thexkar hissed to his assembled generals, his forearms gesturing grandly at the displays. 312 major victories. 312 worlds that fell before our might. No species in the galaxy can match our record of conquest. His generals, a collection of the most feared military minds from a dozen subjugated races, nodded in reverent agreement. The Korthak battles, the siege of Veltar Prime, the complete annihilation of the Nexus Federation. Each victory was a testament to Zephyrian superiority, a stepping stone in their inexorable march toward galactic dominance. It was then that the human was brought in. Captain Sarah Chen entered the throne room with her hands shackled behind her back, flanked by 2 massive Zephyrian guards. Her small ship had been captured during a routine patrol near the Outer Rim, and intelligence suggested she was some sort of military historian from this new species that had only recently achieved faster-than-light travel. The humans were barely worth Thexkar's attention. A young race confined to a single system, hardly a threat to his empire. So, Thexkar rumbled, his voice echoing through the chamber. You represent the humans, a species so insignificant that we have not even bothered to conquer you yet. Chen stood straight, her brown eyes meeting the warlord's 6 yellow ones without flinching. I represent the Terran Historical Archive, yes. Terran Historical Archive? Thexkar's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. What could a species barely 2 centuries old possibly know of history? We Zephyrians have been waging war since before your kind discovered fire. Actually, Chen said calmly, that's what I wanted to discuss with you. Your reputation for military prowess has reached our archives, and we've been quite interested in your claims. The warlord's chest swelled with pride. Claims? I do not make claims, human. I state facts. 312 victories across 3 centuries of warfare. No species in the galaxy can match such a record. Chen tilted her head slightly. Would you mind if I shared some data from our historical archives? We've been cataloging military conflicts across known space for quite some time now. Thexkar gestured dismissively with one clawed hand. Amuse me, little human. Tell me of your quaint collection of skirmishes. Chen's eyes seemed to gleam. Computer, access Terran military historical database, classification, pre-space age human conflicts. A small device on her belt, somehow overlooked by her captors, projected a holographic display that made Thexkar's empire maps look primitive by comparison. The display showed a single blue-green world, but the data that began scrolling was extensive. Let's start with the major conflicts, Chen began conversationally. World War I, 1914 to 1918. Estimated casualties, 17 million. World War II, 1939 to 1945. Estimated casualties, 70 to 85 million. Those are just the big ones. Thexkar's mandibles had stopped clicking. The numbers were staggering for conflicts on a single world. Of course, Chen continued, those were just the world wars. We've had thousands of other conflicts. The Mongol conquests alone resulted in approximately 40 million deaths. The Taiping Rebellion, 20 to 30 million. The conquest of the Americas by European powers. Estimates vary, but somewhere between 10 to 90 million indigenous deaths through warfare and disease. The throne room had fallen silent. Even the guards had stopped their restless shifting. Computer, display comprehensive list of human military conflicts, pre-space age only. The holographic display expanded, and names began scrolling. Battle of Marathon, Punic Wars, 100 Years' War, 30 Years' War, Napoleonic Wars, American Civil War. Russo-Japanese War, Korean War, Vietnam War. The list went on, and on, and on. This is impossible, one of Thexkar's generals whispered. This is data from a single world? One planet, Chen confirmed. Over roughly 5,000 years of recorded military history. Computer, display total number of documented conflicts. A number appeared. 14,783 major conflicts. Below it another number, 2.3 million documented battles and skirmishes. Thexkar's 6 eyes were fixed on the display. This cannot be accurate. A single species could not survive such constant warfare. Oh, but we didn't just survive it, Chen said, and now there was steel in her voice. We thrived on it. We learned from it. Every defeat taught us new tactics. Every victory showed us new possibilities. We fought with sticks and stones, then bronze and iron, then gunpowder and steel, then nuclear weapons that could crack continents. She paused, letting the implications sink in. And that was all before we left our home system, before we learned that we weren't alone in the universe. Thexkar's scaled hide had paled to a sickly gray. What are you saying, human? Chen's smile was sharp as a blade. I'm saying, Warlord, that your 312 victories across 3 centuries is certainly impressive for a galactic empire, but it's a quiet Tuesday afternoon for humanity. We've been at war longer than your species has existed. We've killed more of our own kind in single battles than you've conquered in your entire empire. The holographic display shifted, showing Earth from space, peaceful and blue. The galaxy thinks humans are newcomers, primitives barely worthy of notice. But we're not new to war, Warlord. War isn't something we do. It's something we are. It's in our genes, our culture, our dreams, and nightmares. We've spent millennia perfecting the art of killing, and we're very, very good at it. Chen took a step forward, her shackles clinking. So when your scouts reported that humanity might make a good addition to your empire, I thought you should know what you'd be taking on. 312 victories is an admirable start, Warlord. But if you want to conquer humanity, you're going to need a much longer list. The throne room remained silent for a long moment. Then quietly, Warlord. Thexkar began issuing new orders to his fleet. They would not be visiting the Sol system after all.